more stuff in the garden. I saw a frog yesterday and I got some film of it. And I've got all this film and I'm not editing it yet, even though I've got it all, because I'm out with practice with it, really. I don't know what to do, really. I've got like hours of footage of me clearing up the garden and then finding a frog and finding a toad. The toad didn't show up well, but the frog did. It was good. But yeah, I thought today maybe I'll just make some stuff with clay, because I bought all this stuff and I haven't done anything with it. And really this is the only chance the whole week that I've got to do anything with it. Just get out these lumps of clay and make things. So if anybody's got any suggestions on what I can make with this air drying clay, then that's great. Try and get a small lump, get a large lump, get some. Yay! Yay, clay. So how's everybody been? Hello, thank you for the like, whoever put that there. Hello, it's you. How are you? Do you want me to make something with this clay? Tell me now, and then I'll make it. Nobody's saying it. Oh, it's got a bit hard on the end. Ooh, just maybe get that very hard bit out. If I put more water on it, it'll go softer. But yeah. So how's everybody been? It's all the same as usual, isn't it? Nothing much has changed in the world. Not really. We can pretend it has. It's rained a lot this week. That's why I haven't done as much in the garden as I thought I was going to. Because, yeah. But I looked out this morning and I'd done so much clearing up. And sleeping cat, please. Oh, yeah. I did all the clearing up and I looked out and I was like, oh, new shoots. And then I thought, hang on, is that more blackberries? Because I cut down a lot of brambles and then it was. And I decided to dig, I cut them and then I decided to dig up the roots, and the roots were huge. They were bigger than my hand. So hopefully that tiny part of the garden is going to be, this is softer clay. Oh, it's all gone hard on the end. Right, so I'm going to have to get enough. Hello, Andy. I get enough that's soft enough to work. So a sleeping cat. Now, that's going to be interesting. How am I going to do a sleeping cat? Just sort of plan it ahead. It's just like I've got no model of a sleeping cat in order to just... Maybe I'll make a ball first and then I'll work it into something else. Yeah. Okay, a ball of clay. Dee. Can you tell what it is yet? Oh no, that's the wrong Harris. That's the bad Harris. I'm the good Harris. I am, honestly, yes. If you don't know what that reference, just move on. Yes, I make a cartoon cat, really. It's going to be more of a cartoon cat than anything else. Cats have got sort of pointy ears, haven't they? Yeah. Pointy ears. It's more like a mouse at the moment. Sugar mouse. Do a cat here. It's a mouse. I've turned it into a mouse when I should have done it into a cat. Turn it into a cat. So I'm going to need one of these tools, I think, in order to turn it into Garfield. Yeah, no, it's not going to be a copyrighted cartoon. It's going to be a yeah, got hair in it. Yeah, hairy cat. Do. We won't go there. Thank you. Ooh, it's more like a tiger than... Ooh, tiger. What does the cat's nose look like? Pig. It's sleeping cat. It's got the angle. That's got very big, weird ears for a cat, hasn't it? I'm going to have to work on those to make them this peculiar. Yeah, so I just work on this as I speak nonsense. I can't really see what I'm doing in this light. My eyesight's not great and I've got light coming at me from every direction, so this is going to be interesting. Sleeping. Oh yeah, if it's sleeping then I don't have to do the eyes open, do I? Silly me! Sleeping cat would not have... It's got a little M. It'll be a tabby on its... Yeah, a tabby cat. No. So far, not quite. It's still clay, isn't it? Dee, 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 dee. So I'm still planning to do the Edinburgh show from comfort of my house in my house, my parents' house really, in Wales. So that's, I was talking to my dad on the phone today, not the phone, it was Messenger, all about, because it was Father's Day today. He's like, oh, I didn't know, we didn't used to have that in my day. It's like, well, it's a made up holiday, isn't it? A made up holiday, it's not real. It's just a way to sell. Yeah, I'm going to Wales. Hello, Lark. Larkfall, I haven't seen you for ages. Yeah, ages and ages. People are just popping up that I haven't seen for ages and ages. Looks like a hamster. I haven't finished it yet, have I? It doesn't look like a hamster. Hamster's not got an eye like. Look. Can't. Oh, it's too light. Yeah, it doesn't look like a hamster. I've got to get more clay. That's what it's got to get more clay. I was just watching the film Yesterday on Netflix, so that was interesting. All about somebody that wakes up after an accident and nobody else, apart from a few people, has heard of the Beatles. But they have heard of the Rolling Stones. They haven't heard of various soft drinks and various other things. And obviously Oasis is obviously also, this is a little bit more like a cat now. Yeah, they haven't heard of that either because they rely very heavily. It's a ha, very, very heavily on the Beatles, didn't they? Yeah, so thank you for the second like. Yeah, I think it looks like a cat. Don't mock my cat. Just need to work on it a bit more, obviously. Let's do his nose, or her nose, its nose, cat's nose, cat's little. Yeah, cola, they only have the other sort, certain soft drinks. I didn't want to, I'm not going to brand name check anything, because if you don't pay me, I won't tell you what the sponsorship deal. I'm not naming your soft drink. Good Lord, no. It's more like it's a seal. Let sleeping cats lie. Just put a little, there, just put his little paws there. Nee, 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 nee. Nee, 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 nee. Dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 dee. And yeah, can you tell? Look at that little weird mousy thing. It's like, do I remember what a cat even looks like? I'm beginning to doubt it, to be honest. Like, cat. Cats sort of like look that they do. There's a little paw. Yeah, and then it's dee 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 dee. There's back paws there, back paws there. Dee 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 dee. Get a tail, nice weird tail that doesn't look like a tail. Oh, the clay's coming out. It's the trouble with air drying clay. It's in the air. It's already drying. It's really difficult to get that. Get the tail on the side. There. It's a sleeping cat. You can't say it isn't. You can say it isn't. Just, can you see the detail? The detail on it. I wonder. It's so wondrous. It's so accurate. It looks just like a sleeping cat. Yay! Maybe work on that. It's got a tail, and it's really difficult to tell. I can't tell in this light whether you can tell how amazing this actually is. So amazing. Yeah, so amazing. Yeah, I think I'll leave that. I'll put this clay back in here. This is not massively successful, but I did make something with clay. Weird as it is, a little bit peculiar. It does look like a cat. It does. You can see it somewhat. Yeah, I can see it perfectly. It's just amazing. Amazing. Yeah. The camera's having difficulty focusing on it. Yeah. Oh, that's hideous. It does look like a cat that's sort of got mangled, but it looks worse close up. It looked really good as a sort of an impression from far away. Don't look at it close up, because I can't see it that close up, because my eyes don't go that close up. Oh, I can't see anything there. It does look like a cat. It does. It does look like a Sphinx cat. That's what I was going for. It's sort of an Egyptian-y, sort of old, weird Sphinx cat. Sphinx cat. And it's got a tail. And it's perfectly cat-like. Cattish. I haven't got anything to work off. I'm just going by memory there. Memory. Anyway, yesterday was good, but I read that Demi Lovato had done an interview with Anderson Cooper and Glenn Close, but I didn't read the interview because I just put on something, a news feed, and it just, I'm not going to name check again, and it said that they'd done it, and then I read the article about the article, but not the actual article that they were talking about, and then I suddenly thought, wasn't Glenn Close in something that I know there was a film available, Albert Nobbs, that I haven't seen, so I went looking for that, which said it was on Netflix, and isn't on Netflix, but it's somewhere else. Oh, that's name checking something. Anyway, it's not there, it's somewhere else. And so I watched that. And so I watched that, and I watched a bit of yesterday, but I only started seeing yesterday about an hour ago, and it's a 2-hour film, so I haven't finished seeing that yet. I'll go back to that. So I have no idea what happens. I've got clay all over me. Clay, clay, clay. Yes, I should make a frog after seeing The Brilliant Frog that I saw earlier. I don't think that's too bad as cats go. Not too bad. Just does need a little bit of work there. I should have probably got some water. Yeah. So, what's everybody been up to lately? Anything exciting? Have you been anywhere? Have you done anything? I haven't done anything or been anywhere apart from making this stupid cat, watching a couple of films, and doing some gardening and seeing a frog. I thought that's quite exciting, isn't it? That's quite a lot. I said I haven't done anything except all these amazing things. The butler did it in yesterday. Okay, yeah, and that's another thing, right? They've reopened some of the theatre, including the Mousetrap on the West End. And I was under the impression that the butler did it in that, because that's a big joke, isn't it? The butler did it. And I thought, that's because of the Mousetrap. But it turns out that's not what happens at all. I don't think there's even a butler in it. And the butler did it. It's a completely different thing. So I have no idea who did that. So maybe I should go and see the Mousetrap at some point and find out who did do it, which I actually already know, because then I looked it up and went, because you're not supposed to tell anyone. I think they say to the people that go and see it, make sure you don't tell anyone. Clearly somebody has, because I can't remember who did it, but I did look it up, and I went, oh no, they told me who did it, but I can't remember anything about it. I don't know anything about it. It's a secret. It's a secret, top secret. But because I think Agatha Christie sold it and the theatre was going to do it, and she made sure that they weren't going to do a film version of it until like 6 months or 6 years, sometime after it finished playing on the West End, and it has never finished on the West End, so there's some sort of weird something going on there, because I think possibly whoever owned the rights had a sort of open-ended contract and thought, so I don't think it's the Agatha Christie estate that wants it to never be made into a film. I think it's more likely that the person that's got the licensing has got some deal going with something in order to carry it on forever and ever, which is a bit odd really, some sort of weird, strange thing going on there. My hair's gone quite curly, hasn't it? Not curly, wavy. Not curly. There's a difference between curly and wavy, but it's gone fuzzy, really. Yeah, because it's I I washed it and it hasn't quite dried, and it's gone. Interesting. Not quite there yet, but yeah. So I'm gonna. Oh, look at my. Oh, that's completely off. My hair looks fine. Thank you very much. Yesterday, boo, bye, dee, tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. Neck weird, knees weird. I think that's last night in Welsh, except I can't say. I know how it's spelled, but as I've said on various occasions, I don't understand how to say things in Welsh, even though I can read them on the page. Yeah. Knees weird. Hello. Hello. 40. What's tomorrow? That's I've forgotten the word for tomorrow. 40 is tomorrow, isn't it? Or is it? Yeah. Oh, if only Keris was here, I could reminded. Oh, I can't remember the word for yesterday. But tomorrow, Ifori. Anyway, that's very bad, isn't it? You know, nearly 2 years I've been learning, and I've no idea what anything is. I started learning Yiddish as well. Probably better at that than I am at Welsh. It's a completely different character set. I'm just hopeless. Hopeless. Terrible. Oh, my mind's gone blank. Utterly blank. Utterly blank. Pretty much the same as always. Yeah. And Dreamy is being really strange. It's telling me to buy things when I get up. It's like, buy this thing when you get back. That's one of my dreams. It's like a very long-winded dream. Lots of dreams. I get lots of corridors and weird. There's a city in my dreams that keeps coming up, and it's quite an old city, and it's got a lot of different back streets, and it's got a new area, and it's got all sorts of bits and developments and all sorts. It doesn't exist in real life as far as I know, but this city keeps appearing in my dreams. Anyway, one of my dreams, definitely me in the dream, was like, buy this thing, you have to buy this thing when you get back. And I was like, in the dream, what do you mean when I get back? And I was like, oh, I'm having a dream, aren't I? But then I did, went and got these things when I got back. I was like, yeah, maybe, what? And I'm like, oh. Anyway, I got these slippers. Do you like these? Look at them. Because the reason is, the slippers that I did have, I've been wearing them accidentally out in the garden. I'm like, oh, do some gardening. It's like, oh no, my slippers, and they've fallen apart. I've got new ones. Could be Narnia. I don't think it is Narnia in my dreams, this city. It's got a lot more buildings than Narnia. I think Narnia's got a lot of snow and ice and trees. But this city, it's certainly got an overpass. And it's got like old sections and new sections. And there's a particular pub. You go up and around the corner, and there's this pub that's got like an area above, where it's got like a sort of private area that all the entertainers go up there, and then there's a main part underneath, and there's a warehouse on the side, and then you go down another, and this pub doesn't exist, and you go, and it's opposite a warehouse, and you go down another side street. There's this warehouse. I was like, yeah, I keep going up and down things and in tunnels and going all over. It's just like, why am I going on they're not really adventures. I'm just like, and then I go down there and then go through this tunnel. There's a lot of tunnels and there's a lot of warehouses. I was just sort of distracted because I suddenly thought, oh yeah, last night, what on earth? It's like, where am I going in this dream? There's a lot of bits, like secret passages between places, and there's like a grocery shop down in below, and there's an old bit, there's like a Roman bit where there's like an agora, and there's like Roman ruins before it, and they're still there, and you can go through it and you can see it. And I just don't know where any of this exists. It doesn't exist. And yet, it's very, 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 very realistic in my dreams. I don't know where it is. Strange. Like, one bit of it, I know there was like a big old cemetery area with a sort of dip and a sort of, you could see up above, and there was a dip, and then like a sort of section where you could like perform, and then up on the edge there was a cemetery you could see. And then when I went to Edinburgh, after I'd had this dream, I found the cemetery part of it, not the dip bit, that certainly wasn't in it, but there's a specific cemetery that's exactly the cemetery. You can see it from, if you go up Calton Hill, you can see down, there's a cemetery, and it's like, oh, that's the cemetery that I saw. You couldn't make that out of clay. Tunnels, no, I couldn't make anything like that. I could make quite a lot out of clay. I could make things out of clay. Yeah, I could make things out of clay. What sort of things could I make? All sorts of... the things I could see, the things I could do, the things. I'm going to work on this nose a little bit more around here, because it's going to dry funny, and it's going to look really weird, and I'm going to be... What did I do with that? And I won't be able to fix it. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. But no, it's like distracting, because it's like, do you have like dreams and then you forget about them, and then you're in the middle of the day or a day later, you're like, what was that? That was, what? Yeah, and that's pretty much what's happening there. I don't know what's happening there, and I'm just remembering things, but it's a lot going on, really, a lot going on. So, yeah, it's 5 weeks until I go back to Wales for a bit. So I'm looking forward to that. And then it's about 6 or 7 weeks until I do my show, which will be called, I have said this before, which will be called, What Is It You Want? And then you can just tell me what is it you want, and I will do it for you. What is it you want? What does anybody want? I mean, within reason. I'm obviously not going to do anything that's not safe for work or anything. It's going to be a clean, family-orientated show within reason. It's going to be just everyone. Fun for everyone. That's what sort of show it's going to be. But then it's going to be dependent on what you want. If you don't want me to do, I'm still not going to do, if you're like, no, I don't want it to be family-friendly, then it's like, tough, because it's still going to be. I'm not going to do anything shocking. Shocking. Why would you do shocking things? There's loads of shocking things about. Shopping things. This is making it look even weirder. It does look better close up. He's got a big... He looks like... not Walter Matthau. What's that guy that was... He does look a bit like Walter Matthau, actually. Walter Matthau. I went blank then, didn't I? Obviously, my internet connection's decided it doesn't want me to carry on. Ha! Tough. I'm back again. It wasn't buffering. It completely cut out. It's like, oh, sorry, no more internet connection for you. We don't want you to do an internet thing. It's a flat-nosed cat. It's like a mummified cat. Mummy cat. Mummy cat. It's not very smooth. I probably need to sand that down. That's a mummified cat for you. So I don't know what's up with everything now. Nothing's going to get back to normal, and I'm going to have weird, unsettled dreams. I've just been feeling really lately. Like, what's going on? Just like, well, it's just like peculiar. Just peculiar. peculiar. I've just been very strange. Like something's about to happen and I don't know what it is. Yes, it's Soft Kitty. Soft Kitty. Purr, purr, purr. Purr, 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 purr. Just haven't really got these tools are too big and get the right one. What was a pointy one? Maybe the pointy one will be better. Yeah. Ah, yeah, that's better. Much better. It's not very smooth. That's the trouble. You need water, really, like I said. Yeah, so that's really me messing with clay, making it a hideous, mummified Sphinx cat. It is definitely, you can't tell, you can't see it. Ah! It's definitely mummified. You've seen mummies in the tombs. Yeah, if you see a mummy of anything, it's like I've been seeing a lot of like YouTube videos of recreations of how the mummies or ancient people would look if they actually lived today, and they've recreated their faces with computer generated imagery and stuff, and they're like, yeah, would you look? I saw one about Justinian the other day. He does look so much like a Sphinx hair. He's come alive. Yeah, Justinian, who very famously, I didn't see the video. I just saw the person that does them put one of those, because there's a new thing on YouTube where you just put little tiny like TikTok type things, and it just said, oh, I'm working on my favourite Roman emperor. No, it was the Constantinople emperor. My favourite, anyway. One of the favourite emperors of the that ruled Constantinople, that sort of it. And I was like, whoa, who could that be? And I thought, it's probably Justinian. And I looked up Justinian, and it's like, oh, definitely him. He sounds like he's likely to be everyone's top favourite, because he was the emperor. And what they did, if they didn't want you to be the emperor anymore, they would cut bits of your face off or something, or because they had a rule where you were not supposed to be the emperor anymore if you were in any way maimed. That was a stupid rule, really. And Justinian went and they cut his nose off after he stopped being the emperor, and somebody else was the emperor. And about 2 emperors later, he was like, well, I know what I can do. I can make a gold nose, and I'll be back, because I've got a gold nose. What are you going to do? And they did nothing, and then he was the emperor again, and he had a nose made of gold. So that's very inventive, and probably quite decorative as well. I mean, if you've got to have something a real nose is better, I would think. But if you haven't got a real nose, then one made of gold is pretty bling. And so they recreated him, but it was based not so much on the mummies, which some of them are, based on a very old painting, like a painting from the time, which was very difficult to tell what it was. Yeah, exactly. That maybe they did that as well. I mean, they weren't specific, but it's possible that happened as well. Very possible. Yeah, anyway, but it was his nose. And where was I going with that? Anyway, the picture of him was very vague and fuzzy, and I think they used a lot of imagination on it. And this is what he would have looked like. It's like, well, there's like a tiny splash of paint that's sort of worn off. It's like, oh, okay, if you say so. If you say so. My little... Anyway, I'll be going now, because I've made the cat, and I've made a point of sorts, have I? And I've made you realise that my subconscious is all over the place, and I'm just going to in the middle of the day from now on, I'll just be like, what? What? Why did my... What? Why? Where was that? Anyway... I'll see you soon. I'll probably try and get something done with this gardening video, but I haven't got... It's made of clay. It's a Sphinx cat. It doesn't need hair. That's what it's like. Exactly like that. Yeah, see you then. Bye-bye.